Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have episode 3 of our Mega Meta Traveller show, Feudal Stars. I'm Pete and I'm the referee.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm Monty.
I'm Jeff, and I'm the Marquis and various other names.
Hi, I'm Roger. I'm playing Baron the Captain George Anson.
Too many names. I'm Aldun. I will be playing Octavius Van de Graaf.
Oh, nuts. I got my title and rank the wrong way round. Curses.
It's
I'm
space.
Simon.
It's fine.
And I'm playing a drunk pirate.
Excellent. Right, so episode 3. First off, a big thank you to Mongoose Publishing. They're sponsoring our show. And tonight at our break, we will be giving away a copy of the Traveller Core Rulebook. We've done some of the campaign boxes, but tonight we thought, hey, there's some people who haven't played Traveller before, don't have the rules themselves, so it'd probably be a good idea to give one of those away. So that's for tonight, and we'll be sharing in the next few days what we're giving away next week. Cool. Okay, you may notice that we have a slightly different cast tonight, and that's because our Traveller show has an extended cast of 12 characters. Unfortunately, Bark Wolfberg is extremely drunk and can't make it today. Or Jake, as he's actually known. I can't remember what I put on the overlay now. So what we're doing is we have a cast of 12, and as the story progresses and different activities go on, the different crew members are obviously useful or not at different stages, and therefore we get to mix it up and change it up a little bit and see if one group can make it a mess for the other group, and all that kind of stuff. So last session, our crew arrived at Tothen, and the new ship, the Explorer 1, was coming in from its last shakedown cruise to dock with the station. And our crew started to communicate, read the news, check out what's going on in the system, and various things became clear. There were 99 genetic lines in the Tothan people who are a clone civilization. There were delegates and ships from all 4 of the major factions: the Duchy of Sudenica, Minervan Sacred Realm, the Ukarite Combine, and the Ogan Republic. Now, one thing we should say about these factions is that these factions are powered by our patrons, these fantastic people who support us. Thank you, everyone. And the energy that you've been putting into the metagame that we have running on our Discord server, which hopefully someone can whack some links in the chat, has been just absolutely fantastic. Everyone's got involved. People have signed up to a faction, joined a special channel for communications, and there we are world building and doing kind of behind the scenes politics and kind of fleshing out the world. And then over the weekend, I unleashed them all into a diplomatic session where they all got to interact, and it was fun. And seeing all the private conversations going on in their own channels and then what they were actually saying to each other in the main channel was even more fun. So that was absolutely fantastic. So thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. And thank you, Bubble Reg, for the reroll. That's very handy for me. Thank you. So you had been to the shipyards to see where your new ship came from. There'd been some scourge bats released on the station, and Sudenican nobles were hunting them. And Plim and Frankie went off to investigate that. They're not here today. And what else was going on? What else did we see? You'd arrived, and I think George Anson and Jacob Parsons had managed to wangle from the shipyard boss the details to the after party of the diplomatic meeting, which is going to take place in the Traveller Aid Society lounge. Now, the Traveller Aid Society is a kind of intergalactic organization or sort of standalone areas where people encourage the travelers, who are those who go between stars, bringing the news and trade with them, to have like a safe harbor where they can have cool snacks, best internet, and all the all the latest news and gossip and bulletin boards and all that kind of stuff. It's the lap of luxury, and this is the place that the Tothan Genetic Authority have decided to host the after party, the drinks. One other thing had happened before I forget. A Duchy of Studenica ship had appeared on the edge of the star system, and this ship had not made any communication. It had no maneuvering drive, and was incommunicado. And everyone was a bit curious as to what was going on. Various people asked about sending ships, but the Duchy said, "No, we'll handle this." And that was a hot topic in the patron diplomatic sessions as well. So that was really cool. So we've got this kind of meta world going on. But we join George Anson and Jacob Parsons as they are returning to the ship. They have managed to secure an invitation to the party this evening. And they are aware that some of their crew are probably better suited to being in high society presence or Duchy of Studenica presence, and you've kind of gathered this group of the upper class members of your party in the kind of lounge area on board the ship, and Jake, or your Varga friend, fortunately Matt couldn't be with us tonight, is passed out on the sofa next to the Marquis, horribly drunk. And the Marquis, how are you doing?
Marquis doing just fine. He had a nice little workout today, and then he had a little drink, then he had another workout, then a little drink, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I think he's just probably like just nonchalantly petting Bark Wahlberg over there. Yeah, just looking at him very disappointedly, but used to it.
Octavius, this is starting to creep you out a little bit, the stroking of the Varga affair, but you've been enjoying yourself in their presence.
That's fine. I take it as it comes these days. I have seen much in my long years of diplomatic experience, and frankly, this is almost normal.
And an armoured member of your party, Dan, why don't you describe your character? What does he look like? And who is he?
He looks a little bit like that really angry colonel from Avatar.
Oh yeah,
That was how I pictured him all
Yeah,
along.
that's exactly it. Squared, proper marine, like, everything's very serious. Even right now, he looks very serious, despite the fact we're supposed to be going to a soiree and drinking. He looks very serious. And what you can see right now is he hasn't removed his armor because he's always prepared. But what he's done is magnetized a load of medals to his chest to make him look a little bit proper. So if he turns up to the party in solid suit of armor, it doesn't look that odd, really.
So you're like in combat armor, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I have a full boarding vac suit, combat vac suit for boarding things. But I've got a slotty helmet, so put my head's out at least, so people can see my face.
Oh, okay, cool. So you don't look completely intimidating then. Yeah, although when you remove your helmet, it's just a grumpy marine face.
Grumpy marine face, scar across the old eye, that kind of thing. He looks like he's been in the wars because he has.
Okay, and how does Octavius dress? Sorry, Dan, I assume that Monty is standing rather than sitting.
Oh, of course, standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to a function, then Octavius will have had his Batman lay out something suitable, something in black with gold piping and lots of braiding and an array of medals and distinguished awards which he has awarded himself.
And the Marquis, how is he dressed?
So if we're actually getting ready to leave, then he's probably dressed differently. Otherwise, if we're like in a pregame session, he probably has like his shirt like off or at the very least unbuttoned so you can see his abs. And
because he's like strength 12 or something, isn't he? Yeah, strength.
Yeah, he's a bit of
C
like
or something.
A frat boy kind of, He's got this absent stare all the time.
Yep.
But if we're getting ready to go, he'll definitely have a jacket, a very kind of low cut undershirt, so you can see the tops of his pecs because he's very proud of his his routine, his daily routine,
Okay,
and he probably
cool.
has like a what's it called, like a Bloody Mary in front of him, just to make sure that he's constantly
Cool.
has the influx.
Cool. Excellent. Right. So these three are in this room as you come, and the Varga, but he's like in a puddle of his own puke on the table. He's often drinking with the Marquis on the ship, while you guys are off doing things. So the admiral, sorry, the captain, and the pirate come back, and you're quite an eclectic bunch. It's a very interesting gathering.
We got the fighter. We got the fighter. We got the fighter.
So you guys come in, and Jacob Parsons is very excited about buying a fighter craft.
It means I could be a fighter pirate.
Yes, it does. We've started naming the episodes after things you say in the episode, Simon. So the only problem is you're probably not going to be in the next one. So we're going to have to make you watch it and tell us what it should be called.
I'll just be in the chat and just comment.
Sure.
And then they can
Okay,
still do
cool. Okay, so you guys have commed ahead to let them know that this party is going on, and this is them gathered together awaiting you as you come back to the ship. The others are off doing things. You know, you haven't seen Karen for a couple of hours. Last you know, Professor Plym was off hunting bats. The rest of your crew are kind of busy doing things.
Yeah, I wouldn't have told them to be ready for when I got back to the ship because I obviously have to go get ready myself.
Okay.
Rather than just kind of walking in casual clothes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're going to go to your stateroom and get ready?
Yeah. Use my, whatever it's called, auto hairstyler. To make sure it's in the latest fashion.
Oh, wicked. Latest Sudenican cut.
Is there a setting for that? The latest fashion?
Yes.
It auto updates every time I land somewhere.
Yeah,
so
he programs in the STL file and it just does his head.
So whatever the height of fashion is, it's just that's my haircut.
You're still getting over from the water world of Minerva.
Yeah, that was
the kind of wave sculpture.
Yeah, this one's a bit different.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
What about you got Speedos?
So George goes off to get ready.
Wasn't there somebody who got stunned last week and arrested in our ship?
There is someone being held in a stateroom.
Stunned in the nuts.
Yep.
Has anyone spoken to him yet? Do we know?
Not that you're aware of.
Not that you're even conscious after that hit.
He was like fully out. So
I remember my character apparently carried him away. I was just wondering if he'd woken up yet.
He hadn't woken up yet. But you can go and check on him if you want to while you're waiting for everyone to get dressed.
Of course, that's exactly what the head of security would do to make sure our prisoner is secure and can't get out while I'm out partying.
Okay.
I'm going to call a guy. Monty, I think you need a sash. Just to offset all the hard edges.
Hard edges are good.
Maybe a shelf for drinks.
Lots of heroic.
A shelf.
I shall stand behind him holding my pirate hat above his head in a way in such that anyone looking at him would think he's wearing it.
And then at that point, he just goes, I know you're behind me, Roberts. Doesn't even look, just knows she's there.
Jacob, nice try. Try and get some feathers on him when he's not looking.
Tar and feather the marine, great.
No tar, just feathers.
I don't know. I think it'd be amusing.
So Monty, you're going to go and talk to see if the prisoner's awake. Is anyone going to go with him? No. Okay, cool.
Go and
right.
Change my outfit from one exactly looking pirate to another. I've literally got.
Is it just like the same but a different color? So you're like now you're red pirate and now you're green pirate.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
I'll go with Monty. Actually, I think I'll pick up like my picture of Bloody Mary and a cup and follow him just because.
Cool.
What are we doing?
I'm going to tap him on the arm and go, time to put those muscles to use. As we go walking out.
As I stretch just a little bit, like, are we hurting someone? Like, should I get like my gloves or like, are we good?
Oh yeah.
So I just start. I'm just mimicking, but I'm spilling Bloody Mary mix the whole time.
Yeah, I'm trying to crack, but I'm wearing a full
Yeah,
suit of
I'm
armor,
just-
so it's not doing anything.
Oh, we have people who clean that up, right? As I just spill Bloody Mary.
Just keep walking down the corridor.
It's fine.
The stateroom's not far away. You've kept them fairly close and secure. And Monty, you've got the access code to the door. I mean, if a hacker really wanted to get through this, it's just a regular stateroom. It's not a brig. So someone could, but as far as you know, this guy's been out for a few
He
hours.
got zapped good.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stun him. So you enter the
So
chamber.
I do the classic pin code thing. I put my hand over it, so marquee, and nobody can see it, and, and the door opens. The marquee bomb. Yeah.
Not even looking.
It's not even looking. Okay, so the door opens, and in the chamber there is there's bunks at the end of the room. There's a wash point, there's a desk with a little computer station. There's no computer there, but there's space for one. And at the end, there's these bunks, and sort of lying on one of them, one eye just sort of open, clearly struggling to get his limbs to function. It is this. He looks to you. He looks military, or he's mercenary or something like that. He's clearly been physically fit, trained. Looks like he's seen action. Couple of scars and things, that kind of look to him. He's kind of slumped there looking at you with one eye, sort of, a few meters away.
I'll lean over to Monty am I good cop or bad cop?
We're both bad cops.
Okay, got you.
So Monty's going to stroll over and be like, "Sit up, you dog."
Yeah, you dog.
Bit difficult right now.
I grab him by his collar and heave him up to.
his body. Okay, let's have a athletics strength roll.
Yeah, I can do that. Is that just it's probably just gonna be a flat. I don't have that trained. Oh no.
Do you have what's your strength dice modifier?
0.
Okay, so it's just a flat.
I'm actually surprisingly
2d6.
not strong. I'm I've got more endurance than I've got.
Okay, well, roll 2d6.
Roll 2d6. Oh, let me get into the.
See what your result is.
Yeah, so.
And you're just trying to get an 8 or more. This is kind of a standard test. He's not resisting you, but he is quite heavy, so it kind of balances out.
I roll a 10.
Okay, so you haul him out of the bed. Where are you are you putting him up against the wall? Or
just
okay.
in front of me.
You hold him up against the wall. You can tell that he's had some sort of nerve damage. His body is not responding to his clearly pained visage, and you can see he's trying to do something, resist. He's trying to resist, but nothing's really happening.
At that point, I just let him go and fall because I realize he's broken.
He drops to the floor, and he's like, "Fuck you, man! You didn't have to do that."
Mind your language. I'll have none of that on my ship, or my captain's ship, or whatever ship this is.
Watch your mouth, man.
He looks up at the marquee in his low-cut peck top, drinking his Bloody Mary
out of a pitcher.
What? He's really confused. Bad cop, worse cop. Yeah, that's about right.
So as he looks at the marquee, I'll be like, "Those pecs just aren't just for show. He could crush you with them."
Oh yeah, and I'll just do the classic Arnold.
Okay. A little bit. He's really confused, slightly amused. You're not sure. What do you want? What do you want?
Want to know why you're on our ship?
I was paid to plant a device to monitor Plim.
Who paid you? I'm doing my
It's
best
kind
angry
of-
face.
He pauses for a second. Right, let's. I think we're going to need a roll.
I have persuade. Does that count?
I think we're going to have a persuade, and because of the situation you're in, we're going to change the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So your persuade is going to be a 6+, so a routine persuade roll.
Routine. I did a thing. It said there's 13, effect 7.
7.
I'm assuming that's a good thing.
That's how much you succeeded by.
Oh, excellent.
So that is a tremendous success. So you kind of step one of your combat armor booted feet closer to him, and the Marquis's peck jiggling
popping.
is clearly working. And he kind of says, "Look, you gotta make sure that they don't come after me if I tell you. Gotta let me get me to a hospital here. We're on Tothan, right? They can sort me out. They can make me better. They've got all kinds of medical tech here. But you got to promise me you get me to a hospital safely, and I'll tell you."
As long as what you tell me is good. If not, I'm dropping you in the garbage chute.
Look, I spoke. I spoke to your colleague, crew. I don't know. Told them it's just a device to. It was Hirakawa Heavy Industries.
Look at the marquee. Are you getting this marquee?
What? Oh yeah, here. I'm sorry. Could you say it again?
Hirakawa Heavy Industries.
Hirakawa Heavy. Okay, yeah, got it.
At this point, my helmet shuts up because I have a tactical video suite. I'm now recording the conversation because I no longer trust the marquee to take the information.
What? It's like a steel trap up here. Why? What
He
do
looks at
they
you like
want
you're
with
about to
Flynn?
go weapons hot, and he's like on the floor. They're based off Anatos, but I got hired. You know, those Ukarites clearly they want someone to track Plim. So it's just a job, man. I just get paid. I'm I do a bit of courier work, I do a bit of heavy work. You know, I sometimes I crew a ship and earn my money that way. I'm not tied to anyone. I'm not from there. It's not, I don't care. It's business. I mean,
So
you guys don't look like you're really official or anything. So surely you guys understand. He looks from one of you to the other. He's like,
understand what you're trying to say. So the marquee actually is from Anatos. So would like that?
Yeah,
that
that's one of
industry-
the main corporations
Okay.
that is basically the Ukarite Combine is a heavily industrialized society. They go and they strip mine everything. It's corporate everywhere, and they pollute and they drop things in space and all that kind of stuff. People think they're a bit cutthroat, but they're not bad guys, but they are not shy on a bit of corporate espionage. And the Hirakawa Heavy Industries are part of the conglomerate that funds the sub-prefect, who is basically the guy who runs Anatos.
Do you know why they're after Plim?
No, they just pay me.
But they're scary enough to think they're going to come after you.
Well, yeah. Once I had contact with them, they, told me not to tell anyone about it. Otherwise, you get spaced. It's a standard, Merc thing. But I shouldn't really be telling you who's paying me to do this job of spying on someone. You get that, right?
Right. How do they pay you? Like, do you contact them or do they contact? Do you have a contact? Somebody?
No, they said that when I when I plug the device into the systems, after a short period of time, it would start transmitting, and they would know that it was successful, and funds would be arranged for me.
Right. Okay. I'm out of ideas, man.
Well, it's unfortunate you weren't successful then, because you're not getting paid.
Not getting anything now, am I?
But you got zapped, didn't you? It was really silly.
I thought he was dressed as a pirate as a joke, but like, is he actually a pirate?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
He
Anyway,
laughs. He's having a really weird day. You guys are an odd interrogation pair, and he's like, what? He's like slumped on the floor, and he's just told you everything. Now look, please look. Can one of your crew like get me to hospital?
I tell you what, it seems like you've told me everything I need to know. So I'll ask the captain if we can spare someone to pop you to the hospital. Fair?
Thank you.
All right. Don't go anywhere. Oh, and Marquis, you can stop popping your. We're done now, mate.
They just sometimes do that without control. Sorry. I'm gonna leave him a little bit of a Bloody Mary. Dude, thanks for helping us out. That was cool. And
With a straw, yeah.
yeah, you'll be all right, man. Looks like you work out. You'll be fine. It's all right.
Yeah. What's your set? What's your
How much?
what's
my
your
set?
what's your
God.
regime?
And I'll spend 5 minutes explaining
Okay.
all of it in intense detail.
Yeah. It's like, okay, great. Sounds good.
Yeah. We should live together someday, bro. That'd be good.
In a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, yeah. You got a thing going on, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Just in
By
the
the looks of
background-
it,
in the
by the looks of
background.
it, so have you. So have you two.
Oh yeah, we got like this diplomatic thing to go to. It's business stuff, man. You don't even want to know. It's all right. Don't worry. I'd rather be hanging out here with you, actually. But you know how it is.
Marquis, you probably shouldn't tell the spy things we're doing.
What?
Don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't worry. I'm
never
not really
mind.
in any position to share it with anyone.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I'm new to this, you know. Interrogation stuff is not on my resume, you know. It's
Oh, you did okay for a first go.
really?
He's like really genuinely like not sure what's going on right now. Okay. Thanks.
No, thank you, man. You've been a really cool captive. Like, good job. You know?
Yes, man.
Okay, Marquis, time to go.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
At that point, I feel really awkward and go, bye. Go outside and relock the door. And even I was like a little bit weirded out by that last little bit. I'm just like, we'd take a stroll back to the main room, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so while they were doing that, George Anson has gone and got his dress uniform back on, I assume.
Yeah, so it's kind of almost militaristic, but not, because it isn't my military uniform. It's a new one, so it's
Oh, okay.
green, but it still has I think like a 18th century captain's hat, but with fur trim. You know, given my Sudenican heritage.
Sure. Okay,
And a
there's going to be
rather
a fine
swanky
collection of
saber at
hats,
the-
aren't there? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Good hat.
So in the corridor, you bump into Jacob Parsons. Jacob, how are you dressed?
Green. A bit green.
Okay, bit green.
The little ruffles.
Tricorn.
the little
Tricorn.
Yeah, definitely. The little
Okay.
ruffles in my sleeves are a little bit
Okay,
green.
excellent.
Yeah,
Great.
and I've got a little green sash on my sword.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and occasionally I'll point at it and go, "Yeah, approve." Like, I like.
Okay.
Very
and
dapper.
you convene with Octavius, who's having some food served to him.
Yes. More shrimp.
Little platter comes in. And shortly you are once again joined by Monty and the Marquis, who the Marquis, I'm not sure if you want to put on something slightly more
Formal.
covering or
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, I could do that.
Maybe
And
a
so he'll
scarf.
disappear for a minute, come back with a very like fancy silk shirt that's buttoned down pretty far and the collar's popped, and like a very formal jacket over
Cool.
top of it.
Cool.
There you go.
Okay. Right, so you're all suited and booted and ready for your party. Is there anything you want to do before you go?
So, Captain, sorry, being out of the loop, mostly eating shrimp. What's the plan?
Well, so we're going there to make some connections, maybe
Okay.
get some business if we can. There's a Sudenican ship that's appeared in system that no one appears to be going to help just yet.
Oh.
Perhaps we can get dibs on going to check on them and maybe find some useful salvage. Obviously, not telling them that.
Okay. Do we know who else is going to be at the party?
Representatives from a lot of places: the Ogan Republic, the Ukraine Combine, Tothon, obviously, Sudenicans. Big mix of people, lots of
Anybody
big
in
players.
particular we shouldn't insult?
Preferably shouldn't insult anyone. We're trying to get money out of them.
I don't think you've been to many diplomatic parties before.
No, they didn't normally put me front and center. I was normally out the back fixing something.
It's all about the insulting. That's what I've learned over my many years. It's all about going in, asserting primacy, insult the lowest person you can find, make sure you're on top.
Well, this should be fun.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to this free bar I heard a lot about.
Ah, very good.
You heard about that on the Discord. But it is a diplomatic soiree. So, I mean, come on, there will be
Free bar and fine burgers.
Space shrimp.
So I'm
Yes.
assuming that we will get dropped. We will take a shuttle and get dropped off, and then the shuttle will come back. I'm assuming there isn't like a
think
whole
we're
load
docked
of
at the
shuttles
moment.
all docked.
You are docked, and the TAS lounge is on High Nexus.
Okay, fine.
Yep. So it's on like one of the upper
Yeah,
floors with
yeah.
a commanding view across all of the docks.
Okay.
So it's got a kind of panoramic view. One side you can see the kind of crest of Tothon,
Mhm.
and the other all the prong. Remember we were talking about the prongs that are coming outside of the space
Yeah.
station when the ships are docked. You can see most of them.
And we all still have to pay to get in, right?
Not tonight. Not tonight. You have an invitation. Yes. Yes, you do. Okay. So you are all making your way to the party. All dressed in your finery. It's a bit of swagger as you're all heading through the corridors of High Nexus. You have been met by a V'in genetic line, kind of not chauffeur, but like a valet or someone or a steward who will lead you there in as a quick a way as possible, because you have been afforded personal protection in this situation, purely as a kind of status symbol, not because there's going to be any kind of trial by combat or anything like that. So cutlasses, sabers, body armor, all being allowed for your crew for this. Everyone's in their finery, so it's kind of, Sudanicans don't want to go without their swords. The Ukarites have to have their breather armor gear on and all that kind of stuff. So they all want to show their culture through their clothing and their style and their equipment. So you've been allowed to wear yours. The only restriction is no firearms. So no slug guns and no laser guns allowed. So you'll all have to hack each other to death.
I'll look at everyone and I'll say, I guess I better put these away, huh? And I'll just put the sleeves over the arms.
Keep the guns under wraps.
Excellent. So as you make your way through the main concourse and up to the kind of executive elevators that will take you up to the TAS lounge, in the distance you're faintly aware of kind of leathery wing flapping noises and sort of excited people kind of rushing around further around on the promenade. But you pay that no heed.
Anyone else hear that?
Yeah, it's just
No.
Clem having some fun.
Oh, okay.
you make your way to these elevators, and as you arrive, there are two people standing there. They are dressed in robes with sort of spirally star-like symbol pattern on them, which you recognize as the symbol of the Minervan sacred realm. And one of them turns to you and says, greetings. May your journey through the blessed realm be an enlightening one.
Thanks.
Thank you, and yours.
Well, of course. And the elevators open up, and these elevators are fairly big, so you can kind of fit, 10, 12 people in there, maybe 8 Monties. And you kind of board. They sort of stand aside and let you go first.
I imagine as Monty steps in his big armor, the lift kind of goes a little bit.
You're getting on?
Yeah, I mean, Monty would just walk straight in because it's
Okay.
just like formal.
You'll walk in, and then they step in just behind you.
I was going to invite them in. Please come. There's room, I think. Squidge up.
Well, thank you. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Are you attending the soiree this evening?
Well, yes, it wouldn't be a party without us.
I mean, you do look very fine this evening.
Thank you.
I'm Blessed Sister Lara. It's a pleasure to meet you,
sister. And your companion?
Blessed Sister.
No name?
This is a wave bearer, Swifen Torga.
That's a mouthful.
This chap standing next to her in his robe kind of pulls his hood down slightly. He looks a bit older. She is sort of maybe 40. He's probably about 50. And they kind of very calm face, look quite pleasant. They're just like smiling, nodding at you. You've heard that the Minervans are you were there recently, but you haven't spent a huge amount of time in the Minervan sacred realm. But you have heard that they are very generally seen as a very positive influence in the area. They are religious, but their religion is one of embracing science in every possible way, because that is the blessing of the sacred realm. And traveling out amongst the stars is what they intend to do to share their message. You also know they're the smaller of the groups in this area. So they are kind of jammed between the other three at the kind of crossroads, and not as powerful, definitely. And Wavebearer Swifen says, greetings. I believe you are coming from the interesting laboratory vessel that performed a 720 rotation on docking with the station.
Question
Yes,
for you,
that's-
Captain.
That is indeed us. We are blessed, you could say, with an excellent pilot.
Well, clearly you travel with one who knows the sacred realm intimately.
Indeed, we are here to collect our new vessel.
We've heard about this explorer vessel that's returning. It was out near that poor Sudenican ship. The elevator's now moving up as you're kind of in there.
It was
They
indeed.
smell really nice, these two people. There's just like, you're feeling really calm and positive in their kind of presence.
I think Octavius kind of leans in.
Well, we're hoping to be able to go and assist that unfortunate vessel.
Well, we all
Explorer
offered
one, you say?
assistance. We some of our delegates are all going aboard the Sindanican vessel to assist.
Well, perhaps rather than wasting everybody's time, a neutral party may be better suited.
Well, this is not mine to influence or adjudicate. If I were you, if you are interested, and I can understand why, you look like a capable captain, sir. I would talk to Captain Jindaroff. She's upstairs. I believe her crew are preparing the Pride of Sigyn to leave, and she is just bidding, farewells for the day. We've had a day of talks, and she has been a strong member of those talks, very, very outspoken. Octavius and George, you both have heard of Captain Misha Jindaroff. She's related to the Duke of Studenica.
Oh.
She flies the flagship, the Pride of Sigyn, and when you arrived, you were kind of surprised that the Pride of Sigyn was here, considering its, fairly honoured military position, and this being a diplomatic.
Crikey, Captain. I think we're slightly outclassed.
She is a well-renowned captain.
Yes. Oh, of the he looks at you, and the fur trim on your clothing and the cut of your uniform. He's like, I see. Yes, you know the Sudenicans well.
Well,
Me
yes. Naturally, I am one.
Well, excellent.
Sorry, we
must
haven't
have had quite a
introduced
journey.
ourselves.
No.
How rude. I'm Ambassador Van de Graaf.
Ambassador.
Yes.
Well, with your presence, you are really spoiling us.
Well, I try.
Sorry, you put those pictures up earlier on. I couldn't help it.
Would Monty also be aware, being a
yeah? Oh, yes. Sorry.
Green
Yes. Yes. Sorry. I forgot you're from Studenica as well.
Yes, Sam, me and Roger know each other.
Yes.
Me and Anson, should I say?
Yeah.
Anson and I.
Anson and I. Sorry.
Formal function, remember, Monty?
His intelligence isn't
Monty's
that
never
high.
formal.
Yeah. What's your intellect? It's like 4 or something, isn't it, Monty?
No, my intellect's actually quite good.
It's your education, isn't it? Your education.
My
is
education's
3.
good. No, my education's 8.
Oh, is it? Who's got?
No,
3
sorry, my
education?
my education's
I have a
9.
3.
My education is 9, and my intellect is 7.
Okay. Our viewers should be able to see the stat blocks on the screen for our players, and that is the strength, dex, endurance, intellect, education, and social. And A is 10, B is 11, etc., etc. Okay, right. So the doors open as you're kind of introducing yourselves, and there's a nice corridor that leads down to a kind of entranceway where there's a desk with a receptionist, and there's a big TAS symbol on the wall, Tothan Genetic Authority symbols just underneath the kind of little hourglass style shaped kind of vessel, DNA helix, kind of thing. And there's a few people kind of milling about in this entranceway, but this is clearly not the party. And you know that through the doorway over on the far left, these big double doors, there will be the main party going on. But you can see a couple of people milling about in the corridor. You see a man dressed in the Ogan Republic uniform, which is quite like Federation dress uniform. It's kind of longer, but it's this purple color, the same as their faction on the map. Just to let you guys know, if you in Foundry, I've now added journal entries on all the planets. So if you click on the journal tab, which is the little bookmark symbol on the far left, you can double click on a planet that pops up, and it will give you information about the planet. That's all in there now. Well, there are some planets not covered, but they're not important. But there are other ones. So if you want to see what Anatos is about, then you can see that. I don't know if Millie, you can show that off on the Millie's producing, sorry, in the background. Cool. Okay. Right. Yes, there is a man in dress uniform of the Ogan Republic, fairly low ranking. talking to an Ukarite combine. You're not sure what ranking they have, or whether they have like business credentials. These guys, for their particular ship, it's one or the other. They'll either have a rank or a kind of manager, or sub prefect if they're running part of a fleet or something like that. But this man is standing there, and he's got advertisements on his, like, big logos on his clothing. So his boots are from a particular corporation, and his, so he's got like big ticks on things, and little pouncing big cats on things and things. But it's all kind of high tech kind of stuff. And Marquis, you recognize one of them as the Hirakawa Heavy Industries.
I will start probably too strongly than I intend to. Just start elbowing Monty in the side, and I'm just. That's all I'm doing, is just constantly with my head motioning
Marquis,
towards.
are you
What?
having a stroke?
No, is my face like crooked?
No, you're just being weird. What's going on?
Oh, Hirakawa agents up ahead.
Oh, you mean the guys who paid the spy to spy on Plim?
Right.
The Minervans say, well, if you excuse us, we have other delegates to talk to in the chamber. So we shall see you at some point in the party, I assume. And they kind of make their way past you.
Have a blessed evening.
And may your journey through the blessed realm be wonderful.
Thank you.
Damn, it must be hard being positive like that all the time.
They smell so good, though.
Vandergraaf, I'll worry about you sometimes. Here, Captain, we got to speaking to that prisoner that Roberts zapped. Roberts, by the way, are you an actual pirate? The question came up. We didn't really know the answer.
Yep.
Okay, that's less than fine, but all right.
That's kind of what we said, but we weren't really sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think it's
Anyway.
ex-pirate, isn't it?
Well, I think once a pirate, always a pirate.
Anyway, Captain, he said that he was hired by the Ukarite Heavy Industries, and that's one of them right there.
Hirakawa.
That
yeah.
one. Yeah, I recorded it. I didn't need to remember it. I'm getting old, so I don't need to
Well,
remember
you
it.
two
right
seem to
here.
be running on success. Perhaps the two of you should have a chat with them. I'm going to go and find a certain captain. I will say,
alright.
just strutting off into the main
Okay.
party.
Okay.
Right, Marquis, ready your
Marquis
pecs.
stretches. I'm stretching a little bit. It's time to pregame, Monty. Let's go. And yeah, I'll go up.
We're just gonna stroll up to this guy.
Okay, so you guys walk up, and as you do, the Ukarite member is saying, I'm telling you, what we need to do is blockade. Cut off the starport, and then everything will resolve itself once we install and this Ogan Republic kind of younger officer is kind of looking slightly abashed. And they kind of turn and see you approach.
I assume we heard what they were saying, though.
Yes, you heard that.
Oh.
Yes, you heard that.
Oh, blockades, messy business. Isn't that right, Marquis?
Oh,
I mean, messy,
Not-
but they can be useful, like.
not with enough ships. If we work together, I'm sorry. Who are you? Who are you?
Call us an interested party.
Yeah.
Are you from Gerzil?
Are we from Gerzel?
Are we from Gerzel? No, we're not from Gerzel. No, we're
No.
not. No, actually, we have a different interest. If we may borrow some of your time, good sir. Without this Ogan guy in his fancy clothing.
He's kind of standing there looking shocked. Well,
No.
I must actually get back to
That's right. Run along now. Oh, go.
Hey,
Sorry, I'm not
don't-
one for diplomacy.
I'll buy you a beer later. It's all right, man.
that sounds good.
Okay.
You have a way with people, Marquis. I
I
like it.
do.
Anyway, your name, sir, if we might.
I'm the Marquis.
No, not you,
Oh,
Marquis.
him, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you, Marquis. Yeah.
Elam Sokol.
I am. You work for Marquis. Who does he work for again?
The Hirakawa agency on Anatos.
Heavy Industries.
Heavy
I'm
Industries.
I'm a major shareholder in the corporation. Yes. Why? If you have a grievance, then you can contact my office and
A grievance might be a
arrange an
stretch
appointment.
too far. And I put my arm around on his shoulder and
He
maybe
steps
squeeze
away.
it.
He steps. So he doesn't allow you to touch him. He will move away from you if you go to touch him.
Oh, that's not very nice. Well, you see, I'm just here to ask you some questions about somebody who was paid to do something on our ship.
What has that got to do with me?
Well, apparently your company paid.
You have.
And
Well,
I pay.
if I had to answer to every spurious claim by people saying that my corporation was responsible for some waste spillage or dumping in orbit or misreclaimed technology or problems on ships, I wouldn't get anything done, my friend. Look here. And he gives you a little wafer thing. Contact my office, set an appointment with one of the managers, and they'll sort you out. I don't have time for this.
Oh, but I think you should make time because I think it involves a certain scientist.
What?
So, Plim ringing a bell to you? That's all.
Well, yes.
Excellent. So we at least know who we're talking about. Fantastic.
You mean Plim, who's wanted for war crimes on Anatos?
Yes, that Plim. I'm aware of the gentleman's past. Am I aware of the gentleman's past? I'm assuming I'm aware partially of his past.
I'm not sure if everyone knows he started the war.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say I'm aware of his past and started a war. Did you say war criminal?
Well, I don't. This isn't really the place to talk about such things. Look, we're not here for that. We're here for a very important purpose. We're here to
start a
figure-
blockade. I know.
No.
It's
No.
fine,
No.
it's
No.
fine.
No. No. You speak of things you do not understand. We're here to arrange trade and begin the diplomatic process between 4 powerful groups in this area. We are trying to see if we can assist the Tothan with the Gerzil system and the challenges there. Some things were suggested earlier in the day, and I was merely discussing them with the junior member of the Ogan Republic delegation. There's no need to get too involved in stuff that you could not possibly understand.
It's true. I don't understand. I'm just a Marine. It's all over my head. Marquis of who you a Marquis of again? May I ask?
Well, it's complicated, but I actually, I actually am from Anatos. So
Yeah.
Would
He's
I
looking at you
be-
now
yeah,
because of the way you're
yeah,
just like, oh,
yeah.
he's like,
Oh, hey, hi, yeah. So listen, what kind of war crimes, Anatosian to Anatosian or whatever, what kind of war crimes was he wanted for?
let's have a. What skills have you got to help you persuade or diplomat or anything like that?
All I have is carouse. That's basically
Wow.
it.
You could buy him a drink.
I will be more than happy to do that.
Well, I'll let you
Feudal.
make a carouse roll, or you could
Okay.
get a drink with him, and do the things that Ukarite or Anatosians do when they have beers together. That kind of thing.
We drink.
If you want to make a,
then we punch each other in the face, and then we drink again, and then we do push-ups. It's great. But yeah.
that old tradition. Yes.
Yep.
He's like starts.
He starts stretching.
Starts stretching.
Don't worry, Monty. This is fine.
Very well.
This is just what we do.
Let's get a beer, and he leads you off to the bar. we'll need a carousing roll, and that'll take a little while for you to like get him
Okay.
comfortable, to share the information.
Monty has no
there's-
idea what's going on, but this is great. This is probably the best interrogation he's ever been involved in. Where it's going to get drunk.
oh, minus
One good
one.
thing of it.
You
It's
need
still
more
early.
carousing.
He's not drunk enough yet.
No, he's not. He's not. He's tight. He doesn't really want to give it up. But you spend like the next half hour or so just like having a couple of beers with him, and you do get to know him a little bit. He is high up in the sub prefecture of Anatos, so he's like high in the government. He's got his finger in lots of pies. He's a shareholder of Hirakawa Heavy Industries. That doesn't mean he necessarily has control over them or knows. Bear in mind how information travels as well in the Traveler universe. It travels with the ships. There's no subspace communication between star systems. You only learn from other star systems when a ship turns up with the mail, as Roger knows. He loves the post. So the person who's on your ship came from a few weeks ago. That information, so bear that in mind when he may not know about things because he's been traveling here, kind of thing.
Fair enough.
But you spend some time talking to him. Jacob and Octavius, what are you two doing?
Well, we will choose the classiest moment to enter the party.
Okay.
Stand heroically in the door. Stop putting your hat over my head, Jacob. Survey the plebs.
I shall
Less
make
important.
I shall make some kind of large noise but that no one can actually see, so everyone turns around and looks at Octavius.
Okay. So you push over some folded chairs behind a table, just as Octavius kind of opens the doors, and everyone turns around. George Anson kind of just strides into the room, like I'm not really whatever. But Octavius, you kind of stand there. Without looking, fetch a glass of champagne off of a silver tray. All of the serving people in here are genetically identical. They may have different haircuts and slightly different, their clothes are slightly different, but all the faces of these people, in fact, all of you make no, not George, and not Jacob. So the other three of you make an intellect roll. Oh, Marquis already had a couple, hasn't he?
He had
And
a couple when he was really young. I think that's the problem.
Okay, so Monty and Octavius, you're pretty sure you saw someone with this face enter your ship earlier on. Maybe to talk to Karen, you're not sure, but that there was someone entering or leaving, or on a screen somewhere. Just it's kind of a thing in your mind. You didn't meet them, but you're kind of like, I've seen that face somewhere around the ship earlier on.
Servants.
And one of them, you fetch a glass of champagne off of there, and there's actually a broad array of different foods being offered. There are fine shimmer fish from Minerva. There's tusk-hound joints from Sudenica. There are a variety of vegetable or vegan products from the Ogan Republic, and nothing really from the Ukarite Combine. Their cuisine is legendarily terrible, and often highly polluted or very artificial, kind of spam and mass-produced kind of MREs and stuff like that. It's like rations and things. They don't really go into that too much. And then there are Tothan pure delicacies, things that have been refined, distilled down into their purest essence. It's almost like Heston Blumenthal has done part of the. People may not know who that is, but he's like
Crazy food
molecular
scientist.
biologist, or whatever, molecular chef or whatever he likes to call himself. Yes, a food scientist. And all these things, there's like dry ice coming off of things and little spheres of chocolate with little hazelnut chips on the outside of them, and all those kinds of things.
They knew I was coming.
Yes. And you can see different clusters of people dotted around the room. There are a couple of Tothan individuals. They're tall, well proportioned, figures standing amongst the kind of what did Nye get called? A dirty gene person or whatever. all the gene freaks standing around them. The Tothan pride themselves on their genetic purity, being clones. You can see a few Ogham Republic people standing around. A couple of them are talking to Minervan robed figures. And then there is clearly a captain of the duchy, a striking woman in proper military uniform, and you can see actually out of the window behind them the pride of Sigyn, this frigate vessel with various gun batteries down it, turrets along the top, all sitting there. And it looks like a beautiful ship, probably a very effective warship. And there's a group of people around her as she's kind of and sort of nodding and talking. And there's some Combine people around her and a couple of her diplomatic members as well. And George is walking straight over there. But before we do that bit, what do the rest of you want to do?
Can I scan the room to look for people who are obviously being deceptive in some way? Either they have firearms they shouldn't have, or perhaps I robbed their ship when I was a pirate. Really, but mainly, if people are looking
shifty,
shiftier than they should be,
right? And what skill are you proposing you're going to use to do that?
I'll use deception. Because I'm perceiving their deception. That's basically what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Let's have a deception roll for you. While you're doing that, you rolled effect 3. Okay, cool. So the people in chat are talking about what food they're eating off the buffet.
Oh yes, definitely. Octavius is going to try the tusk hound and make some disparaging noises about it.
Very tasty. It's succulent.
But is it as good as from home? This is the really important question.
Clearly not. Clearly not. This has been imported in, or you suspect fabricated in some way. You're not sure.
I'm going to chew on it and then throw it over my shoulder.
The inn servant kind of scuttles behind you and picks it up.
Is there any fruit?
There is some fruit. Yes.
I would like to fill my pockets with fruit.
Okay, you fill just randomly, like, here's a little bit of grapes. I've got a tangerine. There's an apple.
Quite small fruit. Not the watermelon, but the sort of the smaller fruits.
Yes.
Then I'm going to go find some Ogden, because this is my favorite party game.
Okay, right. You head over towards the Ogden Republic members. There was an older looking chap who seems to be talking with someone in a very fine robe, quite ostentatious. You're not sure about the clergy ranking of the Minervans, but you suspect this person may be a bishop, who are second only to the cardinal of a system. And this elder statesman-looking chap who's kind of grey around the edges of his hair, wearing his fine diplomat uniform, not military uniform, but diplomat uniform from the Ogham Republic. They're chatting away as you kind of head over. I completely agree. I think a blockade is going too far. This is probably a saber rattling maneuver by the Sudenicans to see what. Hello.
Somebody mentioned sabers.
Oh yes. Yes, I'm Harold Weiss, senior diplomat for the Ogan Republic in
Ah.
these talks. And the other person turns, doesn't say anything, and Harold Weiss introduces them and says, "This is the Right Honourable Emissary Bishop Nerrit.
Bishop Nerrit.
Greetings." And Bishop Nerrit says, "And you are?"
I am Ambassador Van de Graaf.
Well met,
It's
and
very good to
hopefully
make your acquaintance.
you have had a blessed journey through the sacred realm.
Well, so far. So have you,
Excellent.
hopefully.
May it continue that way.
Yes, I certainly hope so. So, sorry, I interrupted. Please, continue.
And who are you representing? I didn't see you in the talks earlier on today.
Oh, no, I've gone private. I've finished my
Oh.
work ambassadoring a planet, and now I just kind of look for political and such situations where I can lend a hand and be of help.
Freelance ambassador ambassadoring.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, we were just discussing this situation in Gerzil. Well, Harold here was discussing it, and the other chap turns to you and says, "It's very important. You know, we have to consider this situation. Is it a foothold? Is it the wrong move to make? Just because they're having a civil war doesn't mean we should get involved and seal off their own starport from them." I mean, and the Minervan bishop says, "I completely agree. However, I think we should be discussing the trade routes with the Sudenicans first and foremost, rather than fulfilling the wishes of the Tothan Genetic Authority as the primary point of our discussions. How do you feel about this?"
So the Tothans
Ambassador.
have started eating fruit now, mostly at the Ogden.
Okay.
Cherry? No? Okay. So the Tothans want to take control, sounds like, of the space station and therefore access to space. And you're more interested in maintaining the spaceways to better disseminate your blessed teachings, correct?
Well, I'm mostly concerned the fact that the Minervan sacred realm is the highway through which all of your other ships will pass.
Yes.
You know, we are between all of you, so I'm very interested in the tariffs, and he kind of goes on for this conversation kind of goes on for a little bit. Jacob, you've been mingling and kind of schmoozing, and that was a really good role. So you've noticed two things. One, a member of the Ogan Republic. She is kind of she's like a low-ranking military officer. She's hanging around, sort of taking notes on a pad. Several other people are sort of got pads out and making notes about conversations, because as with all of these things, the diplomacy has continued into the party afterwards. You know, but she doesn't seem to be really engaging in much conversation. She's kind of hanging back, making notes and things, and looks a little bit suspect. The V'in staff also are doing a very good job of keeping everything clean and tidy. Everything's being dusted, and any glass that's dirty does not sit for more than a few seconds on any surface, and then that surface is thoroughly cleaned. It's almost as if they don't want any kind of genetic contamination. You feel that maybe the Tothan Authority have given the V'in staff working the event specific instructions to, like, hurriedly clean everything up, get rid of all the stuff. Now, it's all going off on kind of carts off to through a side door to the kitchens or whatever that's at the side. But that kind of going on. Monty, what are you doing?
I mean, Monty doesn't feel at home talking to people of high-ranking sort of status in terms of diplomacy. He's a
Mhm.
military man, and that's what he knows to talk about. So he's probably going to find the most military-looking people to bother
Okay.
his war
Well,
stories. And
that's the Sudenicans.
well, then,
So you're
is
probably
it?
in tow with George as
I'm
he
probably
goes.
I'm probably following George around
Yeah.
then, because
Yeah.
I don't think Monty would be involved in talking to like these diplomat-looking people because that's not Monty's scene, and he's probably going to say something to upset someone, especially like if some stuck-up toff and says I'm genetically impure or something, you might get punched in the head. So, so he's kind of basically Monty's trying to avoid any situations where he might end up punching someone,
Okay. Cool.
behaving
Right.
himself basically.
So you kind of follow Anson close behind.
I
him.
leave Marquis in the hands of that guy drinking, basically.
Sure.
And I just tell Marquis, whisper in his ear, and just try to take notes, okay? Just wander off.
No.
Okay, so George, with Monty in tow, you make your way towards the captain, and as you approach, a man steps in front of you, and he's wearing more kind of business suit clothes, and a smart collarless jacket, with a shirt underneath, and he kind of steps in the way, and he says, excuse me. This champagne is exceedingly good. Thomas Troback, Minister for Outreach. Pleasure to meet you. He was kind of standing there, not
I
talking to
recognise
anyone
where
for a
he's
moment.
from?
Can
Can I tell from his dress or his accent or anything?
He's probably from Sigyn, from what you can tell.
Is that one of the independent places?
No, that's a.
Oh, he's
he's
one of the
Sudenican.
Sudenicans. Sorry.
Yeah, he's a
okay.
Sudenican, but he's like a minister of
Okay, I mean,
outreach.
even
so.
before he's finished talking, when he says, "Oh, the champagne's particularly good," oh, really? And I'll just kind of look over at the nearest serving person and go, "Champagne."
Of an inn who's kind of dusting a table at the side,
Irrelevant.
puts
I
it
would
down
just
and picks up some
nearest
glasses
person.
and comes over and gives you champagne.
Thank you. Did the guy that just spoke to me, did he have a full glass or an empty glass?
No, he just finished one, so he's kind of
Okay, I'll
burping,
literally grab an extra one and hand it to him.
Oh, thank you, old chap. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. I'm Thomas Trebek.
I am Captain the Baron George Anson. George.
Oh, Captain Baron. Yeah, of the fleet. Which fleet?
Formerly, I served in the Third Fleet.
Oh, excellent. I hear you had some long-lasting anti-piracy campaigns out there by Kileno for a while.
We did until the war.
Well, what? I didn't see you as part of the delegation, and you're not here formally.
Oh no, I'm retired from the fleet now. I'm an independent trader.
Oh, excellent. Independent, you say? Experienced captain of an independent vessel.
Yes, the Explorer 1 you may have seen flying in the. Don't worry, we'll change the name. In the outer reaches of the system. It's just
It needs to be something
grand
and inspiring.
But yeah, that's our new vessel.
The Leaping Tuskhound. Oh, there you go. That's a good name for a. He says, like biting into a genetically modified tuskhound rib.
That's a dreadful name.
I just can't get used to this genetically modified thing. I mean, even the serving staff, quietly, all the serving staff look alike. It's just unnerving.
Well, they're the same code, old chap. It's the same line.
I am aware. It's just weird.
Yes. Well, he kind of nods over his shoulder to the right, and standing next to Captain Jindaroff is a tall, handsome athletic, impressive figure of a man, with a Roman nose and kind of a sort of side sweeping hair. And he is standing there talking with a very, and his charismatic look, and he says something and everyone goes, ha, 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 laughs. And he's like, yes. And the captain is kind of looking at him like, you can see she's kind of sizing him up. He says, oh, the male line, watch out for them. They're slick.
I watch out for everyone. Experience has taught me that.
Good, good, he says, raising his glass. To the Duke!
To the Duke, I'll return the toast.
And everyone around him suddenly goes, to the Duke! And they all raise their glasses and kind of cheer.
If the captain turns around to look, I'll try and, catch her eye and flash her a smile. Not like a kind of
I know
smile.
yeah.
Well, yeah, more like a
like
respectful kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's probably
She
worth
sees
mentioning actually that my armor is Sedenican colours. It's my armor from when I served.
There you go. She sees you and she stops, and you hear her say, "I'm very sorry, Keir, but I must. There's someone I need to talk to." And she steps forward and she says, "Captain Anson?"
I'm impressed that you know who I am. It's a great honor.
Well, you departed the fleet in trumpets. They were shouting your name from the ramparts, and then you retired.
Well, I wanted to see more of the galaxy.
Yes, well, we're all getting to do that these days, aren't we?
We are. How goes the negotiations?
It's been interesting. I'm not going to. And this Tothan guy is like turned around and he's kind of sliding up beside, and he goes, "Greetings, I am Keir Mayal." And he puts out a big, well-weathered hand. Looks like a hand you could trust when you shake it.
Give
He
him
he shakes your hand with just the right pressure on the handshake.
I'm not really going to be paying him that much attention. It's just
sure, no, but he's
like...
he's trying. He's obviously interested in who you are.
Yeah, no. Imagine talking to your hero and then some random person.
Yeah, sure.
Up. Basically,
Yeah.
I'll return the handshake, but without taking my eyes off.
Yeah.
As I say, Monty goes in and squeezes maybe too hard in his plated armor.
Okay. Pleasure to meet both of you, he says, kind of got a little bit of flicks his hair to the side a little bit. The captain says, This is impeccable timing, Anson.
Please call me George.
George. Yes, it's an interesting time. There's one of our ships has appeared on the edge of the system, and we're in a bit of a bind. We're taking some of the other delegates out with us to investigate the ship as it's incommunicado, and we I'm just looking for someone stupid enough to take a ship's boat out ahead of us to relay information.
It does seem a lot of effort to take a whole group of delegates out. Surely someone independent.
Well, it's been agreed on now.
Shame.
We are taking the vessel out. However, a ship's boat can get there in half the time and could relay a message back to our vessel. I was going to give the duty to my first officer, but I want to keep my crew, no offense, close to me when I have others on board my ship.
Of course. We would be happy to assist.
Do you have a ship's boat, or do you need one from us?
We have our own, thank you.
Well, perhaps we should talk for a little bit longer. I would be interesting to hear what you've been doing and who you're crewing with now before such a thing was undertaken. And she starts to talk to you kind of casually about what you've been up to. Okay, I think at that stage, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. So we're going to do our giveaway for a copy of the Traveller Core rulebook. All I need to do is get on Nightbot.
It's just making you disappear, Roger.
There we go.
Yeah,
Just if I hold it right here.
yeah, right in front of you, then it works.
Smoke
So
bomb.
what we'll do is in a moment, I'll give you a word that you need to put into the chat. It's a hashtag. It's all lowercase, no spaces. And once I give that to you, then you will be able to enter our giveaway. And whoever wins, all you need to do is come on our Discord and come and find me, Garblag, and DM me, and we will chat about it on there. So here we go. Let's go. Keyword. Turn down the subscriber luck, and the hashtag. Guys, what do we think is a good hashtag for people to put in the chat?
Wood chipper.
For no, come now. We're not doing that. I think Tusk Hound. Or is that too long?
Too long.
Tusk.
Champagne.
That.
Champagne's a pain to spell.
No, we shall put party. Hashtag party. So if
Put
you type
marquee, then half people would spell it wrong.
not wrong. You're not wrong. Right. So hashtag party. Put hashtag party in the chat, and when we come back from a short break, we will pick the winner of our Traveller Core rulebook. Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of episode 3 of Feudal Stars, our mega meta traveler game with too many players and patrons fueling the worlds behind the game. So before the break, we did a little hashtag party to put in the chat to enter our giveaway for a copy of the Traveller Core rulebook. Lovely game. Really love this simple core mechanic. Loads of extras, all the stuff you can get, all the kit and equipment, and all the things you can add to your character. An amazing traveler character creation process where you can even die in character creation, and a whole series of little sub games that help you just to explore little pockets of what traveler's all about. And we've shown some of those in our previous episodes, and we'll kind of dip into them as we need to as we go along. Cool. Anyway, so we had hashtag party to win our giveaway, and we've had a bunch of people enter. So I am now going to press the button to see who won. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Norman Smith 71. Gonna say he hasn't entered it either. Well done. You have won a copy of the Traveller Core rulebook. Hey, excellent. Right, moving swiftly on. So the party, the Captain Misha Jindarov was talking to Captain George Anson and Monty, and was trying to now get you aside to have a bit more of a private conversation, and was actually wanting to meet your crew, the members of your party who are in the party tonight, to kind of understand a bit more about who you're working with and where you suspect possibly your allegiances may lie. So yeah, it's up to you whether you gather everyone. You see Parsons moving around drinking, talking to people. The Marquis been at the bar with an Ukarite Combine member for a while. Octavius is over by some Ogan and Minervan people.
Yeah, okay. So picking up on the reading I'm getting from the captain, I will look at the Totten chap and just say, terribly sorry, we're old friends, we'd like to catch up.
Oh, I understand.
Excuse us. And I'll just
That's
kind
fine.
of gesture for the captain to, for us to leave.
he kind of gives you a trailing look, but then kind of moves away. So the three of you, Captain, and the two of you, head move away. She says to you, those meals are insistent, but there's just something about them. You just want to, I don't know.
Punch them.
Oh, you do want to help them. You do want to work with them. They're persuasive. Yeah, that as well.
They're designed to be that way, aren't they? It's all a bit strange.
Yeah, they're the I don't know, political line, the governing line. That especially reassuring and leading.
Strange a lot, but yes, I'd like to introduce you to another of my crew. But while we're on our way there, Colonel Montgomery here was a colonel in the Marines
I give her a swift salute. Colonel Montgomery Jackson, Sedenica Marines, ma'am.
She salutes back.
We served together briefly during the last war.
Boarded a fair few vessels in my time, ma'am, and repelled some as well.
Well, excellent. I bet you're a dab hand with a cutlass.
Oh no, Montgomery Jackson is the weapon, ma'am. Don't need no sword.
She looks at George and smiles.
I'll kind of give her the look that I'm sure Navy lot give each other a Marines.
Yeah.
And I will walk in the direction of our ambassador.
Aha. So while they're heading over, Octavius, you're there with that you're getting the sense that the Ogan Republic and the Minervan Sacred Realm are more aligned than they are with the others in the talks that they've been having throughout the day. And you are managing to slightly annoy the Ogan Republic diplomat. However, he's clearly been doing this a long time because his frustration is only just showing.
And I am flicking cherries at him by this point.
Yeah. Yes, well, look, I think it's important that we get our point across in tomorrow's session. I'm going to be going on the Pride of Sigyn to investigate this ship that's come in from Gurzil. I'm the most senior member here, so I have to attend. But seems not sure if we shouldn't just send one of our ranger vessels to investigate.
Lock up, Harold. It'll be fine.
I suppose a little jaunt out to the edge of the system won't hurt anyone, will it?
Well, famous last words, if those are indeed your last words.
He catches a cherry. I would hope not. I would hope not.
Well, I would hope not too.
And the bishop says, indeed, this journey across this small patch of the sacred realm is for a great cause.
Yes.
But I feel it too. It is a waste. It is a waste of our time. We should be debating trade. You're an ambassador to what planet were you ambassador of? Or
I forget.
It was a while ago, was it?
Well, I'm not sure the planet's still there, so.
Okay, but do you know the value of trade?
Oh, indeed, yes.
And we are perfectly positioned to facilitate trade and to benefit from those who travel through the sacred realm.
Yes, I'm just going to sort of turn to Roberts and go, you know all about benefiting from those that travel, don't you, Roberts?
Absolutely.
Trade is the very lifeblood of many different forms of commerce.
Oh, your friend here, they both turn to look at the pirate sort of lingering nearby with a drink.
Yes, it's my Batman.
I shall bow and wave my arm and
He does that.
Okay. They sort of look you up and down, slightly confused. And the Ogan Republic chap says, I'm very sorry, I have to go and get prepared for this journey.
Excuse me, can I just interrupt you for a second? And I shall point at the suspicious Ogan low-ranking Republic military person.
Mhm.
Should they really be doing that?
Ensign Marsh. Well, no,
I shall-
actually.
I shall-
I'll no.
I know, it's okay.
It's my
I'll
job.
deal with it.
You stay here. I'll go talk to her. And he walks off.
Any excuse.
And the bishop is standing there looking slightly annoyed that someone has left him with the pirate and the grumpy ambassador. And he turns
Not
around.
grumpy. I'm having the time of my life.
Oh, yeah, inwardly, yes. Well, who are you, good sir?
Can I move faster than the guy to get to Ensign Marsh?
Well, run across the room. He's just walking towards her.
Yes, but I could walk in front of him, or I could at least follow him closely, so I was there when he gets there.
It's right behind
You could follow him if you
Yes.
wanted.
I will follow him.
Okay, you follow him. And he gets to the lady standing to the side, and he says to her, "Why are you standing around looking so obvious?" And she looks over his shoulder, and he says, "Come on." He looks around and sees you, and he's like, "Look, we have to go and get ready for this trip. Come on."
Oh, I think perhaps myself and Ensign Marsh should have a conversation first.
Why? He says. "Who are you?"
Well, I'm a pirate, of course. You can quite clearly see this.
They look at you like, "What?" And they both turn and walk towards the doors.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Ensign Marsh, see you later.
She turns around and looks confused, and then goes with him. She does look like she's been told off.
Yeah.
The Marquis, you are. What are you up to? You're still at the bar. You're.
I feel like I have been trying to find some Ogan Republic people, and I
Okay.
want to talk about. I've been trying to get tips on like vegetarian like protein shakes. Like, I'm trying to cleanse a bit. I
Okay.
hear you're good at like the vegetables and things. We don't have that.
Yes.
on Hooker, right?
There's a lady called Helene Themis. She's a diplomat, and she's taken a break at the. She's gone over to the buffet to get some food, and you see her, in her uniform and also going for the vegetables. So she's kind of, yes. Well, there's some. She starts pointing out a few different things that are sort of higher in protein. It's a very balanced diet, and we've got some good dietitians in the service who help us maintain our energy levels and make sure we're well looked after. Obviously, we can't stick to it 100% of the time, but we do that as much as we can.
Right. And I heard something about like an exfoliating mask. It's like something that it's all natural and it just.
Oh, there's an a Minervan algae mask that recently we've been getting our hands on, and that's superior. That really opens the pores, exfoliates. It's a good scrub. Yep.
Okay. I'm really just looking to diversify my regimen.
And who are you? Sorry, who are you?
I am the Marquis Romain Gustave Guillemont de Lupin. You could just call me Romain.
Oh, from Anatos.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, do you know Elam Sokol?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we go way back.
Well, I saw you drinking with him at the bar earlier on.
Yeah, that the punching thing, that's just like, our way. It's just the thing we do. Yeah,
It looked ribald and the right kind of thing for a party, she says, trying to She's trying to sound positive about it.
Right. Don't worry. We don't need to punch each other. That's just
good.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want to be punched by you.
Oh, I work out a little bit. It's true. Yeah.
She laughs.
Mhm.
Okay. And are you with the Ukarite delegation then? I didn't see you at the talks earlier today.
No. I'm between delegations right now. Just seeing what my options are. Free agent a bit. Just see what's
Okay.
out there.
Okay. Oh, so you're a
independent.
member of the Traveller Aid Society lounge. You were here. You have access to.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yes, like the 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 couple from Gletty and Eroda over there. She sort of points over to two people chatting in the corner with another Ogan Republic. In fact, the chap you saw in the corridor earlier on, the young official, he's chatting to them.
Oh,
and she says Gletty and Uroda, and these names these are further flung independent star systems that kind of out the back of Uka and beyond.
Yeah. It's a bit like that. Yeah, they're more remote than me, but it's fine. Yeah.
Oh yes, well the Erodans, of course, have very interesting, very interesting. Well, them being so close to that shattered sphere that they've harvested to make their technological advancements. We all want to start talking with them, and seeing what we can do. I believe he had a bit of trouble with some scourge bats on his ship, though. So I'm not sure.
Whoa.
Yes.
There's a lot of that going around, right? Like there's on the
Well, they seem to get everywhere. They seem to jump from ship to ship and cargo to cargo, maybe nesting in containers and things. They're kind of can make their way around, these scourge bats.
they're well named, they're a scourge. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I've been busy myself, too busy. Some of the Sindarincan party went off to try and hunt down some of these bats, I believe. But I've been too busy here, working with the various delegates. We're trying to set up trade agreements, and the Gurzel situation is very delicate. There's lots of very, very lots of different opinions on what should be done, and we don't want to be too heavy-handed. It's their war. It's their mistake to make. But
I've heard like blockade. Like I heard that was like a
yes,
possibility.
and we sort of agree, but they want to go down and anyway, it's all. Just look at me talking shop with you. As she's saying this, you can see over her shoulder behind all the rest of your four have kind of clustered together. And George, Anson, you bring Monty over to Octavius and Jacob, and you can see the Marquis kind of standing at the bar talking to an Ogan lady.
The bishop go.
Captain, this is Octavius. He's
Just disappeared. Excellent. Yes, pleasure to meet you. I'm Captain Misha Genderov.
Oh yes, I think we've met.
Oh, hang on. Yes, you're at that function with some of those. What was it? Was it Divana? Was it on Divana?
Oh, Divana! That was my planet. Thank you. I've remember for a while now.
Yes. Well, you're clearly an experienced gentleman with lots of knowledge of the area and the delicate situations going on here. You're a member of Captain Anson's crew.
Well, crew. I'm on the ship.
Very well. Excellent. And this is, she says, looking at Jacob.
This is my Batman.
I shall bow. I also double as a fighter pirate, and I'm very good at dueling
A fighter pilot.
When the fighter pirate, yes, that's correct.
He's
A
got
fighter
a speech
pilot.
impediment.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And every 12th word is pirate.
And I also do dueling when the Marquis requires it of me.
The Marquis, she says.
He's over there by the bar. The one with the muscles.
And I'm busy. I'm actually like, and then I do.
I don't even have
biceps
to
for like
look.
10 minutes.
I just
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
You can't miss the chap just over there.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I was talking to your captain here, and we've got a bit of a situation. You probably saw it as you entered the system, I think.
We did. We reported it to the authorities.
Ah, yes. One of our vessels has come into the system from the Gurzil system, which is an amber zone. The system is currently in civil war, and we need to get out there and ascertain that the crew is okay, or what's happened to the crew. The ship has come through jump space. The maneuver drive doesn't seem to be working, and we have no communication with them. There's low energy signatures, so it's perfectly possible that there's life support functioning in some staterooms or something in a kind of lifeboat fashion. So we need to get out there. So we're prepping the Pride of Sigyn, and as she says this, you can kind of see out the thing. There's like lights and things coming on the ship, and a couple of it's got a few clamps onto this docking prong, and a couple of them are coming off, and refueling hoses are being retracted and stuff, sort of nicely timed just behind her through the big wide window around the room. So we're preparing to take the vessel out there just in case, but we need a ship's boat to head out ahead of us. And your captain here has proposed that he and some of your crew do that for us.
Yes, I was going to say, we're taking the flagship out, which is rather showy. And you're also going to be taking a lot of these diplomats, I hear.
Unfortunately, they all asked. So it became
slow
slightly
things down.
Well, this is why I want to send a ship's boat out ahead and have a direct communication constantly back to the Pride, so that we can maintain delegates on board our ship, and an impartial group can be on board that smaller ship relaying information to us. Their role really to ascertain that everyone is okay, and then to do nothing else than wait for our ship to arrive and to make safe this other vessel.
Monty, does rescuing work for you, or is it just aggressive boarding actions you're interested in?
No, De Graaf, I can board a vessel in any way you deem necessary.
I'm
or captain
sure.
deems necessary.
I believe Monty would be useful to have around in case there's anything on there we rather wasn't.
Almost
And
certainly.
Roberts, might be an opportunity for you to try out your new toy.
Oh, absolutely.
Man.
I might have to change from green to blue, though. It does match.
Yes. Oh, good. I was hoping. Oh, you went for the blue trimming. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. More impartial, like that. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, look, we are going very soon, and I am leaving. In fact, I have to go. I should have gone a few minutes ago, but I need to go right now to get ready on the ship. If you are prepared to help us out with this, and you have a ship's boat of your own, then we will require a constant communication link with your vessel, and we will ask that anything you find, any data and information, is property of the Duchy of Studenica. We'll get someone to write up a contract on the way out there. It's still going to take you half a day to get out there.
Of course. I trust we will be compensated for our time and fuel.
Of course. I'm a
don't worry, we'll get
woman
the
of honor,
others.
and we can discuss this after.
We'll get the others to sort that out.
Yes, Captain, we can work on the contract and everything from this end. Don't you worry about that.
Captain, not at my captain, the other captain. Can I just make a point to suggest that I did see a young Ogan military lady doing some rather well, she wasn't doing it very well, but it was rather underhanded. You might want to look into it. Ensign Marsh was the person.
Yes. Well, I'm aware. Look, we're all doing that here. So they would be remiss if they weren't doing such activity. This is a prime opportunity for finding something out about your neighbor. So I have no worries about this, and we have nothing to hide in the Duchy of Sudenica.
Okay, well, can I just suggest that you mention to people that if I see anyone doing that with regard to this ship or crew, I'm likely to resort to just taking them, well, their head clean off.
Well, of course, and as long as you're not in any Tothan Genetic Authority jurisdiction areas, and you do that in the traditional fashion, if they are trying to hack your ship and make any aggressive action towards you or your crew, then you're well within your remit to do so.
I shall smile and tilt my head.
But I am not the authority here. I am the authority out there, she says. Anyway, I must be off now. The ship is getting ready. So please go and make your preparations or whatever you need to do. And we shall be in communication in, she looks at her timepiece on it, in 23 minutes. Boop. And she leaves with, purpose. Okay, so the five of you are standing there. What do you intend to do?
Well, let's go hobnob a bit more. We're here to drum up potential sources of income, so.
So I'm assuming we're expected to be leaving in 23 minutes.
How long will it take us to get back to our ship?
10 minutes.
Okay.
That lift is quite slow.
We'll leave in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Do we all have to leave? I mean, I barely got stuck into the buffet.
Only those of technical expertise or perhaps with a strong arm would be useful.
That's slightly insulting.
Well, your skills are talking and bringing up business. I think you'd be better placed here.
I agree with that part. I do also have some technical ability. But yes, my diplomacy is where my true charm lies. I'm going to go find some more organ to throw fruit at.
Okay.
Try
There's
and
only
find us some
one.
business.
There's only one. Oh no, sorry. There are two around. There's Helene Themis, who's a diplomat that the Marquis was talking to at the buffet, and then there's a chap over with two people who look more like traders than diplomats or members of any of the other four nations.
I'm going to go to the one at the buffet because close to the fruit.
Okay.
Pete, the ones that were those the two that you just mentioned? Those the ones that had the reference to the shattered sphere. Is that what you're?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Marquis would probably want to follow up on that.
Yeah, you're going to go over there?
I think he's going to get 2 drinks, pile them up with vegetables, make these big old Bloody Marys, and then bring them over to the two of them.
Okay.
And just hand them.
Okay.
Need a topper, and then just hand them off.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
No problem.
One of them takes it from
my
you.
back. I'm gonna reach behind my back and get a third that I had. It's like locked into my back. Cheers.
Down the back of your trousers or something.
No, just held by those back muscles that none of the rest of us have.
Yeah. Core strength is really important. Yeah.
This chap, one of them sort of standing there, doesn't really, he takes his drink and starts drinking. The other one takes it and starts talking to you, and he's kind of a willowy, taller, graying individual wearing a fairly nice ship suit, but it's kind of like a spacer suit rather than a formal suit. And he says, I am Zawar Daud. A pleasure to meet you. I've traveled away from Eroda. I'm loath to leave, but I have to share.
You have what to share? What was that? I'm sorry, I couldn't quite
things
hear
to
you.
share. I'm a trader. I have high spec electronics and high tensile compound materials.
That sounds great. Yeah. Sure. And would you be interested in perhaps I happen to represent
Tell me, sorry to stop you. Have you ever seen the beautiful shimmering star system of Denand?
Yes, I have. Absolutely.
Isn't it just the most amazing thing you've ever laid your eyes on? Could barely press the controls to engage my jump drive to leave that star system. It is so fascinating and beautiful.
I can't wait to return. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Well, perhaps are you a trader yourself? Do you wish to perhaps? I've had a slight unfortunate infestation of scourge bats on my ship, however, and we're just dealing with some of those at the moment. Some of you may have noticed, unfortunately, got onto the station, so some of my crew are helping out there.
Yeah, I hear it's quite a problem. Whoa. So yeah, I'm a trader. I represent
Excellent.
an independent group of people who trade, and we would absolutely like to trade with you, sir.
He looks around the room. Make an intellect roll.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, goodness.
While you're doing that, Marquis, what Octavius, you've gone over to talk to Helene Themis, George Anson, Monty, and Jacob. What are you guys up to?
Probably going to go and approach the Marquis to let him know what's going on.
Okay.
And see if he fancies a jaunt into space.
Make an intellect roll.
B. Okay.
Pass 0 effect on mine, Pete.
Well, that's a pass. So you passed.
No, I did not roll well.
I'll go with him.
Go for it, Jacob. You make an intellect roll as well. The Marquis, you can tell this guy wants to talk to you somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
He's like looking around the room, and he's like, "I would like to trade. Perhaps we could go to my ship." Jacob, this guy, he's the guy that you meet in the TAS lounge who's going to sell you something dodgy but interesting. He's got that look about him. Being a pirate, you've just known, from all those times you've stopped off at those ports and had to work the black market and things. This is a guy who's skirting the edge of high society to find rich people to sell weird shit to.
Okay.
Perhaps we could go to my ship. I have some high spec wares that I believe you may be interested in.
Do you have weapons? I mean,
I'd rather not discuss that.
Talk about this somewhere else, Marquis.
Right. There's an elevator moves.
Should we go that way?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So, you guys follow this chap, Zawar Dowd, out of the lounge area, down the corridor towards the elevator. Anson and Monty, what are you guys doing? Are you going as well?
Yeah, because I was approaching.
Yeah, so you came over, you heard that, and they said, "Let's go this way." So you want to go with them?
Well, we're heading in the right direction, so I'll kind of.
And Monty would take any opportunity to get out of this stuffy party.
I'll give the Marquis a very, very quick summary of what's going on.
Right. So you all get to the elevator, and you open the doors to the elevator. You get in, and starts going down. And This chap says I'm slightly outnumbered, and I'm not aware of all of you, but I do not need to know all of your names. I believe just your friend here. He says, motioning at the Marquis. You all seem a finer group of people than I've met elsewhere on this station, and not these genetic copies.
Kind
They're
of
slightly
quirk an
unnerving.
eyebrow. And you are?
My name is Zawad Dowd. I am a trader from Eroda. I'm a sometime collector from the sphere remnants in Danand.
Does that mean anything to us?
High tech.
Well, you double click on the Eroda planet, you'll see what common knowledge there is
No, I'm
about the
just
Eroda
wondering if
planet.
my character knows.
Your character knows, yeah, a little bit. The people in Eroda have found a nearby shattered remnants of a Dyson sphere.
Ooh. That does sound interesting.
And Eroda is tech level E. So they have higher tech than Tothan. This guy's outfit doesn't really look like he's super technological. But you know, Anson, at those tech levels, things that your militarists have only possibly theorized about, such as man-portable fusion weapons, are possible.
Okay, you have my interest.
Excellent, excellent. Well, all I need is a little time to show you some of my wares, to take you to my ship.
We are unfortunately tasked to leave shortly.
The elevator opens at the bottom on the main concourse, and you can see a collection of the serving people from the party hanging around sort of a bar. It's got the tube rack written across the front of it over to one side. And they kind of seem to be looking slightly dodgy. And as you guys come out, they all kind of not run, but they kind of hustle into that bar.
Into the bar.
There's a bar. There's a bar you come down in the lift, the doors open in the lift, you're in the promenade where there's like a street and people moving around. There's a bar on the far side, and you see a load of those clone people who were serving in the party upstairs, look at the elevator and then go into the bar. It's like 30, 40 meters away. You just can't help but kind of see it. They're watching the elevator.
Okay. I say in quite a low voice, have you attracted some attention?
Me? No.
It was an odd reaction to...
I've not been here long, and I've been residing in the lounge waiting for such fine clientele as yourselves to arrive. You are clearly discerning people with an eye for military hardware.
Well, we are certainly interested. As I said, we do have somewhere to be. We have to take a vessel out.
Perhaps when you return, then. Should I just show you where I'm docked?
Oh, I'm sure if you give us a location, we can
very well
pay you a visit upon our return.
Very well.
Do you have a comm frequency?
I do.
If I'll kind of just pull out my communicator. If you give me your details, I will drop you a line upon our return.
He punches them in, and then he starts to move off.
We do also have someone looking into your bats problem.
Oh well, they're not really my problem anymore. But excellent. Unless there's a nest in one of my cargo pods, which I must actually go and check. Yes. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Pirate. Kind of looks around you. You're an odd collection of people, and he kind of... It's been interesting meeting you all. Please feel free to contact me when you return from whatever it is you're doing. And good luck. I hope you make it back so that you can spend your money with me. and he kind of walks off.
Well, that was strange.
And
Octavius.
we could get some good stuff out of him.
Hello.
You are upstairs in the party.
Yes.
At the at the buffet with Helene, and she's introduced herself, and you can tell she's actually a very competent lady. She's just been discussing the finer points of what's been going on in the day. She's obviously trying to get from you kind of your experienced. She kind of acknowledges that in you and your kind of experienced eye on it. She knows you're trying to, maybe bristle her a little bit to see how she reacts, and she deals with it quite well with little jokes and things. So you're finding her quite an interesting person to talk to. She seems like a very competent diplomat.
Stop throwing fruit at her.
She doesn't mind that so much. I love fruit. So Octavius, it's great to have an experienced ambassador such as yourself here at the delegation. Make an intellect roll. Okay, cool. As she's talking to you, you notice that the servants in the room are, you can see a couple of them sort of talk to each other, and you're like looking around, and they all seem to walk towards the exits at roughly the same time.
Helene, have you noticed how all the servants, well, they look similar, which one would expect from Tothan, but now they all seem to be, I don't know, synchronizing.
Well, yes, I don't know where they've gone. Maybe you should talk to reception or something. And you've clearly got some clout and a way with people.
Oh, well, you're too kind, really. I pull some more shrimp into my pockets.
Okay. What are you doing?
Well, it looks like the party is coming to an end if all the staff are leaving. So maybe we should leave. Maybe find a bar. What do you reckon?
Who's
sure.
left?
There's quite a few people still left. And you're finding it quite strange that all of the serving staff have left. No one seems to really be noticing. They're all in depth in talks, and you know that they're kind of their supervisors out in the reception area, and you can see actually out in the corridor outside, one of the Tothan officials, kind of talking out there.
Well, I'm going to go outside then.
Okay. As you go out into the corridor, a figure comes through a side door, the other side of reception. And there's no one sitting at reception. And this figure bumps into you, and for a moment, they turn to look at you. And it's Karen. Only it's not. It's someone who looks exactly like Karen. Seems to be carrying something.
What are they carrying?
She's got something in her hand. And as you kind of look at her, and she sees you look at her, her eyes go wide with sudden fear, like I've been clocked, and she runs into the lounge in a full sprint, and she screams at the top of her lungs, "We do not choose stagnation!" And she presses a button in her hand, and the doors of the room blast back towards you.
Oh.
As an explosion goes off in the lounge. And Octavius, you are thrown, it's too far away from you. It's not a huge explosion. It's kind of like she's run into a cluster of people and hit a detonator, and like explodes. Glass is kind of cracking at the far side of the room, although these are very sturdy, thick windows and nothing goes there. The buffet table, the poor buffet table, is knocked aside, and all of the food
Those space
sprays
shrimp.
up the wall. Tables fall over. Little doilies and napkins flutter everywhere. People drop to the floor, and Octavius van der Graaf is knocked from his feet and flies backwards into the arms of Sel Tavan, the Tothan diplomat, who is looking aghast at this terrorist attack.
Good heavens, what is this?
And the rest of you downstairs hear an explosion upstairs. And that is where we're going to leave our episode for tonight. Cool.
Kaboom.
Okay. Yes. So, excellent. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to my players who really got into the whole diplomatic event and trying to figure things out and who's doing what and all that kind of stuff. I've been random rolling events before the session and taking the input from the patrons for what was going on. I got sabotage, a target, and assassination, and I combined the two into one event, as you can tell. And I thought, this is interesting. I love that. Anyway, the Tothan stuff is great, and Millie's been great at fleshing that out as well. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to our patrons for helping to flesh this out. Thank you to Mongoose Publishing for sponsoring us. Congratulations to insert name here. I can't remember who.
Norman Smith.
Norman Smith 71.
Norman
That's
Smith,
it.
71.
Sorry, I got confused because we had one and then the other. Norman Smith 71. Well done for winning a copy of the core rulebook. Traveler's a great game. Lots of fun. And thank you everyone for joining us. Next week, we will have the flip side crew, who are the dodgy dealings. Although, what do we have tonight, really? And we shall see what happens. There's a bit. I'm now looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with the patrons on Discord after the bombing and everything, and we'll see what happens there. But we shall see what happens in our continuation from this point in 2 weeks' time. Next week, we're going to wind back the clock to the bat hunt, and I think Kona Carl's dodgy dealings with the black market. So the companion episode will be next week. Cool. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, players. Thank you, Millie, for producing. And we've been Garblag Games. So please stay safe and happy gaming. And we'll see you.